Hi, I'm Fraser Douglas, the avid tent camper. In this video, I want to begin talking about canvas tents and how they differ from the three-season synthetic tents that are so popular today. Throughout this video, I'll be using 7 canvas tents to illustrate various different points. The first of these tents is this small canvas wall tent that I bought from an Army surplus store back in 1967. I used it for about 2 years until someone stole it off of the top of my car after returning home from a camping trip. This is my family cabin tent. We bought it used in a yard sale in Milwaukee, Wisconsin back in 1975. At the time, it was approximately 10 years old, and we used it for another 25 years. It measured approximately 12 feet long by 10 feet wide. And this is our canvas wedge tent. I bought it about a year ago from a retired Civil War reenactor, and we currently use it as our cold weather tent. The floor measures approximately 9 feet by 8 feet. When we bought it, it had no floor, but Ava sewed a 15-inch canvas sodcloth all the way around the bottom edge, and when we combine this with a polyurethane tarp and an indoor-outdoor carpet, it makes a pretty nice floor. Today, you can buy similar wedge tents and wall tents from various Civil War reenactor and sutlery stores on the web. One such store would be Blockade Runner. This is a Kodiak canvas Flexbow tent that has become very popular over the last year or two. It comes in a variety of sizes. I'm going to be talking about the 10-foot by 10-foot size. You can buy this tent at Cabela's and from several internet vendors. This is the Trek 245C cabin tent that measures about 9 feet by 12 feet. In the past, Sears carried it, but today, apparently, it can only be purchased on Amazon.com. This is a canvas wall tent made by the Davis Tent and Awning Company of Denver, Colorado. Davis makes several sizes, but I'll be talking about the 8 by 10 size with water and mildew treatments and 3 windows. Similar tents made by other companies can also be found on Amazon.com and other internet retailers. And this is the Sibley 400 made by the Canvas Camp Company of Shawnee, Kansas. Again, they come in a variety of sizes, but I'll be talking about the 13-foot diameter tent. Very similar looking tents are made by a variety of makers and are sold on Amazon.com and other internet websites. Sometimes they're called Sibley tents and sometimes they're called Bell tents. For comparisons, I'll be referring to 3 very popular 3-season synthetic tents. The first one is this Eureka Copper Canyon that measures 10 feet by 10 feet. This is our older REI Kingdom 4, which we've had for 3 or 4 years, but in this video I'll be referring to the newer REI Kingdom 6, which has a floor that measures 8 feet by 10 feet. And finally, I'll be referring to this Marmot Limestone 6 that has a floor that measures 8 feet by 10 feet. So let's examine some of the major features of these canvas tents. Most canvas tents, including this Kodiak Flexbow, are made from treated cotton fabrics, but a few are made from nylon fabrics. Cotton fabrics used to make these tents vary considerably in terms of their thickness and weight. 10-ounce cotton seems to be a good weight for tents, but some companies save a little bit of money by making their tents from 9-ounce cotton. In contrast, most three-season synthetic tents are made from polyester. In the past, many of them were made from nylon because nylon was stronger, but today, ripstop polyester is almost as strong, is lighter in weight, and is ecologically friendly because it's made from recycled plastic bottles. The frame for canvas tents usually is made from either heavy wooden or steel poles, while the frame for most three-season synthetic tents are made from lightweight aluminum or fiberglass poles. A canvas tent will cost at least $200 more than a similar size three-season synthetic tent. For example, the Kodiak Flexbow will cost about $650, while the Eureka Copper Canyon will only cost $235, and the REI Kingdom will cost only $440. A canvas tent will weigh at least 25 pounds more than a similar size three-season synthetic tent. For example, my old cabin tent, plus its 9 heavy steel poles, weighed almost 100 pounds. The Canvas Camp Sibley tent weighs 57 pounds, and the Trek 245 cabin tent weighs 55 pounds, while our Marmot limestone only weighs 16.5 pounds. Now, this extra weight may not sound like much, but by the time you lug it from your garage out to your car, from your car out to your camping pad, and then later on from the camping pad back to the car back to your garage, and then set it up to dry and pack it up again, you may get tired of carrying this extra weight, especially if you take several camping trips a year. The canvas tent will also require more packing space in your car. Now, this may not be a big deal if you carry your camping gear in a trailer or on the top of your car, but if you have a small car, it may take up valuable space that could be used to pack more comfortable clothing or equipment. Most canvas tents are non-freestanding, while most three-season synthetic tents are freestanding tents. Now, what this means is that when setting up a canvas tent, you must first drive in the pegs all the way around the walls before trying to insert the supporting poles. But most synthetic tents can be set up without the tent pegs. In other words, you can set it up on concrete, or you can set it up on ground in one spot and then move it to another spot without having to pull out any tent pegs. Although many young tent camping enthusiasts seem to think that vestibules and garages are good, I personally think they're a nuisance. They're unnecessary because you can store most of your gear in your tent and your food in your car, plus they make it more difficult to enter and exit the tent. While most canvas tents don't have them, most synthetic tents do have them. The Eureka Copper Canyon is one exception. One of the limitations of a canvas tent is that it is not as waterproof as a synthetic tent, especially when it's new. Now, as tents are used over and over again in the rain, the fibers will swell and provide more rain protection, and chemical treatments can be applied to the canvas to enhance its waterproofness. After the rain has stopped and the snow has melted, the ground will hold quite a bit of moisture for several weeks or months. And any part of a canvas tent that touches the ground will absorb this moisture and wick it up the side of the tent. As a result, many Civil War tents were made so that the sides did not touch the ground, but this gap allowed cold air to enter, as well as mosquitoes, other bugs, spiders, scorpions, snakes, and other critters. Modern canvas tents frequently attach a waterproof sod cloth around the edge of their tent that is anywhere from 10 to 15 inches wide. And this sod cloth helps to seal the tent against wind and critters. In contrast, most synthetic tents have sewn-in floors because the polyester fabric does not absorb moisture. After every significant rainfall and after every campout, a tent needs to be thoroughly dried before it's packed away. And the seams will be especially difficult to dry. In humid areas such as the southeastern United States, it may take up to 5 days to dry a cotton canvas tent, while it only takes about a day to dry a synthetic tent. To dry their tent, some people set their tents up after returning home or hang them over a clothesline, but we've installed 2 hooks in our garage from which we can hang our tents as soon as we unpack. Well, I've run out of time, and I still have 10 more important factors to discuss, including the serious issue of mold, mildew, and rot. So I'll address those issues in part 2 of this series. Stay tuned. For more information about camping tents, please visit my website, www.basictentcamping.com, and watch some of my earlier videos on tent history. Remember, take more trips, travel further, visit more attractions, and save money. Go tent camping.